Hey guys, what's going on? Inception here, and welcome to another video. Ladies and gentlemen, today we have a new tactic video to show you guys. I'm no longer using the Japes 3412 when I'm playing the game seriously. When I'm not playing the game seriously, I am using it because it's really good for like defender reviews, midfielder reviews, because of the pressure on heavy touch part. But as you guys know in this game, and I tell you guys this all the time for every tactic video, park the bus, through balls from like the middle area, not like the ones that should be working constantly, you know, not those ones, but those through balls, the lob passes. It's a really huge part of the meta of this game. So when you're too vulnerable in defense, it's going to be a lot of problems, right? So with this custom tactic, guys, if you guys watch the Shapeshifters Ronaldo review, I got this tactic from one of my viewers, and when I was playing on his account, I was like, you know what, this tactic actually moves really nicely. And in this game, you kind of have to hope that defensive AI actually does stuff for you, which this formation actually does. It's really well balanced when it comes to the attack and the defense. It feels like when I have the right attackers in the right positions, I feel like I can actually play authentic football because I'm not forcing too many things, which you guys are going to see now, right? So this is Giyu's account. This is just a team that is an example of what you can work with, but there's different things you can do. If you guys watch the Shapeshifters Ronaldo video, we had a pretty saucy team for the most part. It was really, really nice. And you can see that we have it set up like this, right? So you have the defensive player with Hakimi, Vinicius Jr. is the attacker, and then I have like Ben Yedder, Garrincha, Ronaldo, blah, blah, right? So that's a type of team that you can make. A big thing that I see a lot of people doing for this year's game is this Cancelo Patrick Vieira link, because there are so many easy links you can work with when you do this, and you switch them in game, right? So you guys are going to see what I'm talking about. So this is Giyu's case. He has a Spurs link with Heung-min Son. He could totally put the Dele Alli card there too, which in my opinion would be better than the Emerson card, but that's just what he wants to go with, right? So the 3-4-1-2 tactic looks like this, right? So the defense is on balance 50 for width, 55 for depth, and then the build-up is on balanced and direct passing with 50 for width, and then 7 for players in the box, right? Now, the typical reasons as to why this formation works so well is because we have reached a certain point in FIFA meta where if you have cards that are meta enough, they will perform really well in this formation, right? So what you're going to see when it comes to the actual players in the team, right? Just for an example, right? You can see that João Cancelo is playing in the midfield setup and then Patrick Vieira is in the back. So that's just something that you can work with. João Cancelo genuinely is, in my opinion, one of the best midfielders in the game, even though he's a fullback. He's just really, really good to use in those areas, and he 100% has that crazy it factor when it comes to like really, really full meta cards, right? So that's just something that you can work with. But the instructions on the team, right, is the goalkeepers on comes for crosses, sweeper, keeper. I like them to be aggressive because of the through balls, lob passes from like those really easy ones. It'd be nice to have, you know, people that actually aggressively push those areas. The center backs are unbalanced. You don't touch them at all. The defensive-oriented midfielder is on stay back while attacking, cover center, right? So in this case, we had the Fernandinho card with the Hunter chemistry style. Perfectly fine. It works out great because of the medium-high work rates. He'll do a good job for you there, right? And then Cancelo is the guy that's going to be unbalanced, but also on cover center, because in this game, flooding the middle is very, very important because people always do the same ISO plays where it's just like pass, 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 shoot, pass, 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 shoot, right? So covering the center area as much as possible is going to be very, very ideal. The left mid, who is going to be your more attacking oriented player. So in this case, we have Heung-min Son, but we also have Vinicius Jr. over here. This guy is only going to be on comeback in defense, but also get into the box with a cross to offer another attacking support, right? And then your defensive oriented player on the other side, that could be both good at attacking and defending. It'd be great if you could do that. He's only going to be on comeback and defense, right? So that you can create a really good balance in the defense and in the attack when you are playing general FIFA, right? Your cam is going to be on stay forward because obviously if you take off stay forward, they will move into the midfield position, which will kind of mess up the formation with the way that it kind of lines up in game. The two strikers. So you'll notice that in the Ronaldo review, I had stay forward on him, but the only reason why he had stay forward is because my boy used to use a version of R9's card that has low stamina. So he keeps the stay forward on the card so that he doesn't lose as much stamina, right? But generally speaking, it would be very nice to play the base characteristics. I like this because I like playing authentic football and I like playing cards to their base characteristics. It's really fun for me personally, right? Technically, you could keep one of these guys on stay forward. Honestly, I don't really see it making that big of a difference if you do that. I did that for the reviews and it worked out great, but for a good balance when in regards to pushing forward and coming back, this could be a very ideal thing to do. Now, if you notice that your opponent is playing a certain way, like a rat pretty much in this game, it would be very ideal to maybe have 2 or 3 different variations of this formation, right? One of the variations needs to have either a pressure on heavy touch or a constant pressure, depending on how much time they're actually wasting. The reason why this is going to be very important is because people play like rats in this game. They'll score 1 goal and then they'll waste time for the rest of the game, right? So having some sort of pressure tactic that pretty much covers every single player attacking AI wise is going to be important. It's a really bad balance in this game, like I mentioned to you guys in the rants video, but that's where the game is at, right? It's going to be very important to do that because the manual defending is not really going to do much. So you kind of have to rely on the defensive AI to do that stuff for you when someone is playing in that way. Another version of the formation that you could be working with too is something where your players in the box is not set as high, right? So this is really fun to work with because there's a lot of attackers committing, a lot of authentic football plays happening, but you could lower this to like a 5 if you notice that you don't want to like concede too many counterattack goals, right? But I think 7 is a really good balance because again, I play the game to attack and not defend the whole time, right? So I like to put players in the box set to a 7. So yeah, it's really ideal to have different variations of this formation. It could be also very nice that if you really, really need a goal, you set your build-up play to fast build-up, and then you put your direct passing to forward runs instead. So you have those two, just in case you really need to get a goal. Honestly, forward runs doesn't always work that well because attacking AI in this game is not that good. Fast build-up with direct passing is still going to do that job for you because if someone is parking the bus, I almost dropped my controller. If someone is parking the bus, you guys know how the meta works in this game. It's always shot cancel, pass, 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 shoot, pass, 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 shoot inside the 18-yard box. That's how you're going to score a very large majority of your goals. But you guys are going to see from these review videos that we did that we're not going to commentate over. We're just going to allow it to play out for what it is. It works out great. There's a couple of teams that I actually worked with that was really nice to work with. So I had Richarlison as one of my strikers. It was fine. Obviously, you have to work with his dribbling and stuff, but it was fine to work with. I was using the new Lacazette card as a cam with his high work rates. Worked out great as well because if you guys watched the review, I was mentioning how his movement is kind of like random, right? And that random good movement is really helpful to work with, right? Premier League tax, yes, but the card's still pretty decent in game for what you can utilize. In this team, you can clearly see that I'm working with some very obvious strikers, right? Mbappe, Ben Yedder. There are tons of strikers that you can use nowadays. They've actually been making some of the wingers really nice strikers as well. So be sure to look out for that. Like that Rodrigo Showdown card, you can totally use as a striker now, especially after that update. In this team, let's say, for instance, you guys still had like the Fabinho card playing in the midfield set up with his medium-high work rates. You can totally make that work too, playing at center back or playing in the actual CDM position, being that defensive unit, because he's very similar to like the Patrick Vieira card, right? Like they're very, very similar to each other. Like there's not really many cards that I can compare to those two in regards to in-game quality. That's why I mentioned to you guys in the review for Fabinho that even though he may not get an upgrade, the card was still very good, right? So a couple things you have to consider when it comes to building your team. Make sure that you have these types of players because it's going to be very important for the general balance in your team. So what we're going to do now is we're going to show some highlights from some of the player reviews that I did. A lot of them actually have goals that are like long range finesse shots. I guess we can maybe add some of them, but I think we're going to do mostly breakdown if we can. So yeah, enjoy the highlights, guys. Let's get to it. Good play, good play. Finish Solskjaer, we'll take that. Thank you. Solskjaer again! Yes, my boy. Yes. This guy has Shapeshifters Ronaldo, by the way. So I don't know how he got him, but we move. We dancing, boys. We dancing, bro. We dancing, boys. Don't even worry about it. We dancing. Oh! What did I just see? Ooh! We'll take that. Good job. Good job. Ronaldo, my boy. Nice. Cristiano Ronaldo. Beauty. Let's go, boys. Oh, Cristiano Ronaldo. Oh, it doesn't even matter, bro. Doesn't matter, brother. Doesn't matter with this guy in the squadrons. It doesn't matter, my guy. The meta! Oh, he still scored that. Nice. Good play. Good play. Ooh, Jamie Vardy on the 5-star weak foot. Beautiful finish. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Was that Jamie Vardy that did the first time pass? It might have been, eh? Oh, a finesse shot that actually worked. Oh, let's go! Let's go, Vardy. Yeah, so sorry about the music, guys. I actually had to download the videos from YouTube, so that's why it has the music from the YouTube videos. So that's why I was like always split between them. But yeah, I try to get all the player reviews from the Elite Division, and I try to do my best to get the breakdown goals and not necessarily so much the finesse shots and stuff, because that's how you're going to play this game mostly, right? Finesse shots is just the individual quality more than it is the actual formation and tactic. Unless you're Messi. Messi just always gets into the right position at the right time for finesse shots. But yeah, it's a really good tactic. It was really good that I found this from my homie, because it is a tactic that I'm probably going to be using for the rest of my reviews going forward, because it's just really well balanced, right? So yeah, just make sure that you guys follow the formula that I gave you guys earlier in the video with the types of players that you want, and I think you guys will have fun with this formation. It's really, really solid. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoy this video today. I will catch you guys for next one. Peace out, dudes. Love you guys.